Fresh out the shower. There's a typhoon passing over right now. So whenever there's a typhoon, it's pointless to have an umbrella because you just get drenched, soaked. The house is shaking. Okay. It's not enough light. I need to turn this AC on, my God. Okay. So let's see. I've been out of work for several days. I was going through it, y'all. Oh my God. But anyways, it was nice. I was thinking like maybe I need just one more day to just really rest and recuperate, but I'm really glad I decided to go back to work today because one of my colleagues came in. They don't work at my location, but sometimes they make little stops, little rounds. And he doesn't really come in often because he's a busy man. But anyway, I don't see him often, so it was really, one, it was nice to see him. And two, are any titties coming out? Okay. At work we have these it's like a little bulletin board thing where we can post little things, and he came across what I posted. It was like a goal. You post your goals or whatever. And one of my goals says I want to make a movie, and it was supposed to be like goals for the year, but what is time anyway? Anyway, so he's like, oh, I just seen one of your goals. That's interesting because one of his goals is to be a filmmaker. And we just started talking about his background and how he used to make films, and he has like this 12-hour documentary that he's kind of been sitting on for decades, and it's still not finished. How he initiated the conversation was, yeah, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a filmmaker, but I gave up on that dream. And I'm like, well, why? Like, why do we give up on our dreams? How I look at it now, because this wasn't always how I perceived this or understood this to be true. How I see my dreams, my goals, my wishes, desires, whatever you want to call them, is if I'm still alive, it's still a dream, it's still a goal. If you want to be a filmmaker, right, and you go your entire life and you just work on one film, and then finally that film is done and you're like on your deathbed and it's finished, you're a filmmaker. I don't care what you did for a career. I don't care what you did in your free time. If you wanted to be a filmmaker and you made a film, you're a filmmaker. As corny or like cringy, cheesy, I don't really know. I don't care. However it sounds, cliché, I don't care how it sounds. It's cliché because there's a truth that transcends era after era after era, and it needs to be translated in a way that is understandable by everyone. And that's why there's this cliche saying that says follow your dreams, right? Socrates said it, your French teacher in high school said it, your best friend said it 30 years ago. It's like we say these things because, and I'm almost sure if I search well enough in the Bible, there's something in there about following your dreams in the Bible. I'm almost sure. But anyway, I'm not well versed in the Bible at all, but it's like you can find almost anything in that bad boy. There's a lot of gems in there. Like, I want to make a movie. I have no filmmaking background. I have like I didn't go to school for it basically. I have no equipment. I don't know how to work a camera, right? All I have is this cute little Sony in front of me and my phone camera, and that's what I use to make my movie, right? I'm not too sure how to work DaVinci yet or Premiere. I know how to work iMovie though, and so that's what I'm using, right? I'm using my whatever resources I have available to me right now to just put in little by little with my dream. When we have these dreams, we only look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is great, right? It's like, okay, this is where you eventually want to be. But I think what deters us, or what kind of scares us in a way from actually going after it, is we either refuse to look at all the little things along the path or all the little things within the big picture, or we just don't recognize all the little things in the big picture. It's like a Monet, right? the big picture is this beautiful lily pond. And when you get all close up, it's kind of like all these brushstrokes and colors, and it's just a blur almost. But it's all of those brushstrokes and all of those colors together that make the big picture. And you need all those individual brushstrokes, all those individual colors. You need that to make the bigger picture. And I think we get so afraid of our dreams because we're only looking at the big picture. If we focus more on each individual brushstroke, I think following our dreams and sticking to following our dreams will come to us in a more fluid way, and it'll stay with us, right? It won't, I don't know. It won't be such a pain to deal with and do, but also a pain to neglect. You always have something tugging at your heartstrings, but you never respond to it. Our dreams, they have a funny way of giving us life, but then also depleting us of our creative and life force energy. So when you have something so deeply connected to your heart, and when you reciprocate the energy it's giving to you, it's this beautiful symbiotic marriage. It's giving to you, you're giving to it. But when there's something that's on your heart and it's pulling at your heart and you don't even acknowledge it, or you just keep neglecting it, it keeps giving and giving and giving to you, and you're not giving anything back to it. And so eventually it's going to be like, hey, I need to eat. So it's just going to start pulling at that creative force, pulling at your life force, until one day you're like, I don't know. I'm not inspired to go to work anymore, or I'm not inspired to do this, or I'm not motivated to do that, or I don't have any interest in anything. It's like, because that one thing that has been pulling at your heart for so long, it's starting to be like, hey, look at me. I need to eat, baby. Feed me. And you don't got to feed it a whole damn feast. Just feed it a spoonful. Because especially if you're just now starting out with it, it's still a baby. You don't feed infants a whole Thanksgiving feast. No, you feed an infant spoonful by spoonful. And that's how you should feed these goals and dreams that you have. They're a baby. And I feel like even if you are a veteran in, like, say you've made 4 films already or whatever. I don't know if that's considered a veteran, but just hear me out for the example. Say you already made like 4 films, and then there's this one film that you've always wanted to do, or this one documentary you just always wanted to do. Still treat it like a baby. Treat it as if you're going in there brand new, beginner's mind. I think that's important. That's not to say all your unfinished work is not worthy or of value. This is something else I also brought up when I was speaking with him. He's like, yeah, I have a bunch of just unfinished films, right, from decades ago. And I don't know where it came from, and I didn't even really know I felt this way until I just said it out loud. I said, there's something beautiful and almost poetic in unfinished work. And he kind of looked at me like, yeah, I guess so. And I kind of was looking at myself like, why did I just say that? But I feel like that came from my own creative nudge that has been nudging at me that I haven't been feeding, right? It's like, hey, look, I got something to say and you're about to say it. I think there is something poetic in unfinished work. And for a long time, I looked at things being unfinished as something negative, because that's what a lot of people look at unfinished things as. It's like, oh, she can't finish anything. She's not, whatever, like trustworthy or to finish this, or responsible to finish this, whatever, right? But now, starting tonight, I'm starting to look at all my unfinished work in a different light, with a whole new perspective. I'm not quite sure what that beauty is that I see in unfinished work, or how that is poetic, but it is. And if I sit here long enough, maybe it'll come to me. I guess it's just the potential there that makes it so beautiful. I don't know. I'm gonna sit on that for a little bit. Maybe write about it, meditate about it. I don't know. I think everything that I create is my best work. And that may be an unpopular opinion. But if I did my best with what I had and with what I knew and with how I felt, then it's my best. It's my best work. I think anything that you create from that place that's tugging at your heart, from that place beyond your thoughts, anything that you create from that is your best work. You might have favorites, right? But everything's your best. It reminds me of this conversation I had with this woman I met when I went on my first vacation alone in many years, and it felt really good. I'm actually working on a whole video for that because the things I seen were just so beautiful. I cannot wait to share them with you guys. But anyway, I met someone. I'll keep that story for that video. I found out that she would draw. She was taking photos, and I asked her, I was like, are you an artist? She's like, no, I'm not an artist. And I was like, well, do you like to take photos? And she's like, well, yeah, I like to draw and I like to take photos. I like working with film. And I was like, well, then you're an artist. It's interesting how people, including myself, people will have this desire to want to create, and they do and create the things that they want and the things that they love, and yet they say they're not an artist. I think being an artist is being present to the world around you and being present to that infinite force that tugs at your heart and that lives beyond your thoughts. That's what being an artist is. It's not what schooling you have. It's great to have the information and knowledge, but I think that stops a lot of people from creating. And if it's really in you to want to create and you don't do it, like I said, it just drains you until you acknowledge it. And some people never acknowledge it. Anyway, I'm going to make some tea and do what I do in the night. I hope my house doesn't blow away because my God, it's crazy outside. But anyways, thank you again for watching. Oh my God, I have 100 subscribers. That's amazing that 100 of you guys want to follow whatever this is that I'm doing. And I love that. That makes me so happy. I think someone left a comment and was like, I'm your 100th subscriber. And I was like, wait, what? What are you talking about? What are you saying? And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I don't even know how many subscribers I started with when I started becoming more consistent on this channel. I think it was like somewhere in the 60s. So that's interesting. That's made like 40, maybe 40 plus new friends that decided to join me in whatever this is that I'm doing. And it's beautiful to know that we're all connected in some kind of way. There's some kind of connection here that you quite literally subscribe to. I appreciate that. I really do. My heart feels so my heart feels like butterflies. Yeah, so anyway, thank you. Bye.